Well, hello, and welcome to Medicine Walk. This is Dr. Ayleen, and it is so wonderful to be with you after the holidays. I hope yours went well. It is, that power slide to the new year when we start thinking about, all the gift giving and all of that stuff is past, and then we start moving into, okay, what's next? 2019. And I know that 2018 was really very dynamic. And for some people, it was like really, really, really hard. And if you're one of them, I'm sorry. But we're heading into a new year. We're heading into a new way. We're heading into new opportunities. And so this time of the year is really a very profound one for, figuring out, okay, what is it that we can let go and what is it that we want to bring in. So we're going to talk a little bit about some things that, well, one, I'm sort of toying with the idea of doing a meditation, like setting up a daily little 3 to 5 minute meditation that I'll be posting each day. And I'm kind of working on the mechanics of that and figuring out how I want to do that. Uh, Part of my New Year plan, and I hope you guys have already started on yours, is to, see what else I can do with the YouTube channel and with the Blog Talk Radio. I stopped posting for about a year, and I noticed there were still people who were logging in and listening to the old episodes. So that's why I started doing that again, because, I was so touched that people were still logging in and listening to stuff. I really felt that it was important for me um, to give them something, to offer them something, to be there for them. So for those of you who are listening on Blog Talk Radio, thank you so much for for being there and for hanging in there. Wherever you are in the world, and apparently you're all over the world. So thank you for that. And if you want, you can check out my YouTube page and the Blog Talk Radio um, thing for the description. In the description, you'll see the YouTube link. So for those of you who are here on Medicine Walk, and it's just been interesting that it's already been like a couple of years now, and being able to just sort of see the channel evolve and looking back and cringing at my old videos. But I was once told never be ashamed of humble beginnings. So this is very much about new beginnings, and between now and the end of the year, and for New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, I'll be doing a live stream. So if you would like to join for that, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I did one last year, so if you don't have anybody else to ring in the new year with, you know, ring in the new year with those of us who are here. So anyway, um, also, I'm playing with different things about the idea of maybe doing shorter videos and seeing how that works. So this one's going to be a little bit shorter. Also, because of the fact that it's over the holidays and I'm kind of trying to fit in the recording so I can have time to edit. So anyway, it's that's just sort of a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff going on. But I do want to keep working on improving and evolving the work I do, and with the channel and growing the community, and really making this something that we bring that sense of balance in, that we help people find balance, because that's my main thing. Is it's about helping people find that balance point, find that eye of the storm for themselves. So the idea that if this video helps, if these videos are helpful for that in any way, I want to make them the best I can. So I'm going to be working on that through the year. But on to today's topic. One of the things that can really kind of, throw a monkey wrench into our daily dealings with others is the aspect of communicating. And that's why I call this episode Know Who's Talking. Because there's two parts of that. There's know who you're talking to, and know where within yourself you're talking from. So and they both are similar. So let's start with who you're talking to. Now, you may be talking to someone who you know, or maybe it's someone you don't know, and you believe that you're talking to, the adult persona, the person who is, just like, calm, cool, collected, mature, balanced, unattached, whatever. But who you may be talking to is not necessarily that aspect of them. You may be talking to their inner child. You may be talking to their wounded inner child. And what can happen, and what, if you're talking to somebody and suddenly they get really triggered by something you said, and you're going like, wait a minute, what the heck? I did not intend for this to go in this direction. Well, if you were talking to their mature, balanced adult self, it probably wouldn't have. Often when people get triggered, it's because the conversation goes into the place of, or through the filter of the wounded child within them. Maybe, the wounded child who's always been criticized. And maybe, something gets brought up that triggers an old criticism, and they get very defensive. So as you work with people, and in my capacity, both as a chiropractor and as a reverend and as a teacher, I often find that the first thing I have to do is be sure who I'm talking to, or who is talking to me. Who within that person am I communicating with? Are they in a space where it's about problem solving, and it's about talking about things, and and really being able to kind of interact on an adult level? Or do I need to recognize that right now I'm dealing with a hurt child? And it's and there's nothing wrong with that. When people go into that place within themselves, often it's a reflex. And what they need in that moment is not, to kind of be told that they're wrong for it, but to acknowledge that individual and go, wow, this is really, really, seems to be upsetting for you. I'm sorry that it's so upsetting. And allow them to talk from that perspective of their hurt. It doesn't matter that you didn't mean to say anything hurtful. What matters is that it went through a very bad doorway, and it can still be worked with. And it can also become a tool for growth. So if somebody is like, well, what the heck with you? I didn't, you're just too sensitive. Okay, that just sends it more through a bad doorway. But just say, whoa, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger you in that way. I didn't mean for this to be hurtful for you. Maybe we can talk a little bit about this. And create an invitation so that the person can feel, so their wounded child can feel safe enough to allow them to talk about what it is that is they're dealing with, what it is that is hurting them so much. Because, often when somebody takes offense, it has nothing to do with that person or that situation. It's because it's brought up something, it's brought up a memory. And often when those situations come up, we become what we were at the age that particular thing happened. Whether it was a really embarrassing thing or whether it was a really hurtful thing, we kind of go back to that age. And I've dealt with different people who, right in that moment, I have to deal with the child and speak to the child and invite them to calm down, because then once that wounded child calms down, then the adult, okay, let's be rational about this, then that can come back in. That aspect can come back in. So make sure you know who you're talking to. Now, the other side of that is make sure you know who within you is talking to them. Is it, maybe a somebody who is critical of you, who you maybe identified or unintentionally echoed a little bit? Is it your compassionate side? Is it your patient side? Is it, the side of you that is thinking of all kinds of other things that they want to be doing, or is it your wounded child? It's a very, very difficult conversation when one person's wounded inner child ends up dealing with another person's wounded inner child. And that can almost never go well. So the idea is that if you really feel like you're escalating in your emotions and your feeling, either, in a positive direction or in a negative direction, check with yourself. It's like, okay, where is this coming from inside of me? Where is this that do I need to take a look at this? Do I need to look at my attachments to what this conversation is? And at this time of the year, one of the biggest things is, you get a bunch of family together, and, the sibling rivalries can come out. And, arguments can break out. And, I've often seen where, they'll get into a debate, and you can almost see somebody kind of triggering, even intentionally. It's not even that they care that much about the argument, but they seem to be really focused on triggering that other person. So, they'll say something, and the other person takes the bait, and then they get going with it. And when it comes down to two people who maybe they're grown up in physical form, but in that moment they are back as children working through whatever old issue they had, that antagonism that sometimes siblings can very naturally express towards each other. So consider, even as you watch this, and I encourage you to watch these interactions, because what it does is it helps us identify when we're going through it going, oh, wait a minute, I know what that looks like. I know what that scenario is. I know how that is progressing. So take a look at it. Take a look at where you're at. Take a look at your emotions. Take a look at your attachments, because it's not so much what's happening, it's the story that we've attached to it. Either that the other person is attached, or that we ourselves are attaching. With debates, more than likely, if it's someone who is debating something passionately, you're not going to change their opinion, and they're not going to change yours. So putting energy into a discussion like that is probably not going to be as productive as it could be if there was a possibility that, oh, gee, someone's going to have an epiphany. They're not. So look at yourself. Look at what you're doing, because this can also be something that is so positive. When you have somebody who is, when you're feeling kind of down and you connect with the happy inner child in someone else, it can bring up your happy inner child. And that can be a tremendously cool thing. Suddenly things are lighter, they're more playful. So whether it's the wounded inner child or the happy inner child, there's a way to bring that together in a conversation that can be positive and move people forward and allow them to be able to move through those difficult things, even through the difficult memories, and find balance and restore balance. Give it a try. Consider it. Consider the possibility that maybe it's not so much what's being said, but who's the one who's saying it and who's the one who's listening and responding. Just something to think about. So, thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'm going to try doing some shorter videos just to see how those go. And if you like the shorter video, please let me know in the comments. And I do read the comments, and I'm especially going to be reading them now. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the topic. Let me know what you think of, the slight change in the timing. And, because this is something that I want us to build together. So let's build it together. And I really look forward to anything you have to say. If you would like to learn more about me or to support this channel, you can you can share the video, you can you can subscribe to the video, and you can also reach me and follow me on Twitter, and you can also reach me and join Medicine Walk with Dr. Ayleen, our group on Facebook. And for those of you on Blog Talk Radio, like I said, please check out the YouTube video. And if you like it, subscribe and like and comment and whatever you'd like to do. And also for Blog Talk Radio, there is a comment section, and I also read those. So, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all this time that we've, kind of evolved this far. And so we're at that next place of possible transformation. And I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. And whatever it is that's weighing on you, I hope it works out. And if I can be of any help, let me know. Because even if I don't know you, I believe in you. You can do this. We can all do it together. So, again, thank you for joining me. And, as always, I wish you balance, and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you. Bye.